Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Pathfinder Through the Ashes with me, Bring It On. Gonna get this adventure underway. When many years had passed, chroniclers would speak of the attack on Kenabres as a turning point that marked the start of the Fifth Crusade. But in those days of fire, most people had no time to think of history. They were concerned with more pressing matters. Where can we find shelter? How do we bandage these wounds? How do we survive one more day? He's wearing a corset. I thought he was flayed from like the chest down. We have a sprained ankle after we got smacked in the head. The fall has damaged your leg, making you limp. This effect can be removed by any cure spell.
I'm gone.
I'll just walk it off. It'll last another 14 seconds. You know, to stage scenery and props amidst the mountains of rubbish. Pieces of the walls of Neurosian here, a fragment of an angel's helmet there, and a broken stave that very recently played the part of Radiance, the legendary sword. The corpse reeks of carrion and cheap booze. It looks like the cultist tripped and broke his neck. That's unfortunate. A sham short sword. Sword deals 1d4 damage instead of 1d6. Gives a wielder -2 penalty on attack rolls made with it. Alright, we're ready for war. Gonna equip this as well. To the basement. Another sham short spear. Milestone experience. Experience points are awarded differently in this story. Instead of gaining points for defeating enemies, you only gain them at important story milestones, such as reaching certain places, solving puzzles, and discovering secrets. Don't waste your resources on needless combat. Evading a battle will grant you as much experience as winning it. That's neat.
Be careful, everyone. Attack!
Alright, hang in there, buddy.
What have you done? Why did you kill him? Our poor Leafy, how could you?
The half-elf dressed in tattered, flashy clothes, his face smeared with what remains of his stage makeup, brings his hands to his mouth in horror, feeling his long, delicate fingers and manicured nails. I saved your life and you're complaining.
Look, thank you for helping me out, but surely you could have found a non-violent solution.
He glances at the bloody corpse of the dog, and immediately turns away, fighting the urge to vomit. And I guess I would too, there's not much of a corpse left. The dog would have mauled you to death.
What? No, not at all. Leafy and I are friends. He got scared, that's all. Scared and hungry after... Oh, Shellen, this is a nightmare. What did I do to deserve this? What sin did I commit? It's all the demons. I've never seen dogs behave like this. It's worse than rabies. Worse than plague. Those monsters have brought madness to our city. People have lost their minds and have started killing each other. And now the dogs have gone berserk.
Who are you?
Langrat Massini, at your service. Oh? I am the first violin in this very theater. Or at least, that's who I was before disaster struck. Now I'm just like you. Just another victim, hiding from savage monsters among the ruins, hoping to see the sun rise just one more time.
He tries to sweep into a courtly bow, but he teeters and almost falls to the floor. What are dogs doing in a theater?
They're strays, the poor things. We feed them every once in a while. They look so miserable. I guess they were quick to forget about our friendship. Or maybe it was the insidious Baphomet who made them attack their patrons.
You must be familiar with this place. How do we get out of here?
Out of where? The orchestra pit or the theater? The only way out of the theater's through the seats, and that's where those killers are. And the orchestra pit... There was a door over there, but it was blocked by some rubble. Long ago, way before the attack. Another option is the stage, but we'd be out in the open, and that's just what they want. So, there you have it. No way out. All we can do is pray.
He looks around like a cornered animal. I'll be going. Langrat just sighs forlornly. Oh, hold tight, buddy. Sham crossbow. It's so awful. How could the gods have allowed this to happen? Who's that sneaking around? The cultist pulls out a knife and looks around suspiciously. When she gets a good look at you, she grins, showing her rotten teeth. Ah, our fresh meat is out for a walk, is it? Come over here. I'll get you good, in the name of Baphomet. Come any closer, and I'll shove that dagger down your throat. Oh, scary. I'd love to see you try. The cultist walks toward you, raising her dagger, but then, out of nowhere, a silhouette appears behind her. The next moment, she lets out a gurgling wheeze as the man pulls a string around her neck and starts strangling her. The cultist whips around and pushes her attacker away, but he still manages to take her dagger. Don't just stand there. Kill her.
Watch each other.
Where'd you come from? Alright, I sacrifice you both to Baphomet. No, you will not. Now let's go up. We need to talk. Alright, to the stage.
Good work. One less goon for them, one more knife for us.
This middle-aged chiefling has clearly seen some hardships in his life. In a subtle movement of his nimble fingers, he hides the string he used to strangle the cultist up his sleeve, then sizes you up, his eyes narrowed.
You're not half bad yourself. The name's Rekart. We should stick together, and maybe we'll make it out of this slaughterhouse.
He offers you his hand. I'll shake his hand. Nice to meet you.
It's a deal then.
His grip is firm as he shakes your hand.
Alright, that's enough small talk. We better figure out how we're getting out of here. I have to make it to the Defender's Heart, no matter what it... Wait!
Rekarth freezes, listening. The string, already taut, reappears instantly in his hands.
Wait! Don't! I'm a friend, not a cultist! See? I saw you. Do what you did. It was horrible. So much blood. But I guess you had no other choice, right? Those cultists are animals. How are there so many of them all of a sudden? Where did they come from?
Pale with fear, Langrat the musician holds his hands up.
What do you think? They've been living here this whole time, walking the same streets as us, breaking bread with us. Maybe they've even dropped by this theater of yours a time or two, to listen to some music and dream about what they were going to do once they seized power. Anyway, what do you want from us?
Rekarth hides his string again.
You two want to get out of here? I have an idea of how you could pull it off. I've worked in this theater for a long time, so I know every nook and cranny in the place. I could point you toward a way out, but you have to promise me that you'll take me with you. No, you'll have to swear it. I don't want to die in here.
He turns even paler, shuts his eyes tight, as if expecting to be struck for his words, and blurts out. What kind of a way out?
Basically, there's a... Hold on a minute. First, give me your word that you won't leave me here to die. I'm not telling you anything until you promise me.
He stops short. I promise we'll get you out of here.
Then listen. This theater is very old, you know. It was built back in the times of the First Crusade, almost 100 years ago. Its stage has been graced by such legends as...
He lowers his voice.
Get to the point.
Huh? Oh, right. Anyway, it's an old theater, and between you and me, the city doesn't have the coin to maintain it properly. The foundation is sinking deeper and deeper every year. There are caves beneath our feet, you know. This place has cracks running up the walls, and no matter how much we complain, all the city authorities do is,
He catches Rekarth's menacing look.
So at any rate, the floor in the basement collapsed recently. We just covered the hole with planks, more or less. But if you were to remove them, you could get into the catacombs. It's scary down there, all right. But not as scary as what's going on up here. There, I've told you. No tricks, you hear? You promised you wouldn't leave without me.
Rekarth, what do you make of this plan?
Well, it's not a plan yet, just a lead that could help us make one. We need to go and take a look at this hole for ourselves. It could work.
Rekarth shrugs. Is that all you've got for us?
This theater's got lots of secrets. But as for one that could help us survive right now, give me a moment to think. Maybe something will come to me.
Thanks for the tip. Here's hoping it'll help us escape.
Shelyn, preserve us all.
So listen, here's what I wanted to tell you before this fool crept up on us. No matter what it takes, I have to make it to the Defender's Heart. It's a tavern, you know it?
Rekarth turns away from Langrat and says to you quietly, why do you need to get to this tavern?
It's been made into the headquarters for the remnants of the resistance against the demons. You might not think it to look at me, but I work for the Paladins from the Order of the Eagle Watch. The resistance was put together by their leaders, Anevia and Irabeth Tirabade. And I have information for them. Something big. Something they need to know right now. I'm serious. The lives of everyone in this city depend on me delivering this report.
There are still some people putting up a fight against the demons.
Hard to believe, huh? Well, the city isn't gonna curl up and die just like that. Everyone with the strength to fight is gathering at the Defender's Heart. And everyone without it too, I suppose. Sitting behind Paladin shields is safer, sure enough.
So you're a knight.
No, I am definitely not a knight. More like the opposite. But there are times when knights need the help of folks like me. You get the picture? I'm just a scout. And well, sometimes I do other things for them. Off the books.
Rekarth gives you a crooked and bitter smile. What report are you supposed to deliver?
The demons are preparing to launch an attack on the tavern. They're hoping to crush what's left of the city's defenders in one fell swoop. I was listening in on their plans when they caught me, tied me up, and threw me in here. Puh. I gotta warn the Paladins so that those fiends don't cut them all down. Instead, I'm lounging around at this luxury resort.
He spits on the floor in frustration. I'm really glad he told me what the report is supposed to be. I feel like some narrative plot points depend on the character not telling you what it is, so that's like some big reveal later on. But by not telling me, he reduces the chances of that report actually making it to the Defender's Heart. Here, he just doubled the chances of it getting there, since now 2 people know it and can have increased odds of making it there. So if one of us dies, the other one can still deliver the report. It just makes more sense. What do you want from me?
I hope I make it to the heart alive. I really hope I make it. But if I do end up kicking the bucket along the way, I want you to deliver my report instead. Find Commander Irabeth Tirabade or her wife Anevia at the tavern. Tell them the demons at the Tower of Estrad are preparing a large-scale assault. They have to know. They have to be ready. You understand?
His hoarse voice is filled with anger and worry, but his eyes are steely with resolve. So I've been pronouncing this wrong the whole time. I've been calling it the Tower of Estrad, not Estrad. I see.
Then let's find a way out of this dump for starters. It might be worth talking to some of the other prisoners. They look like a bunch of half-dead wimps, but who knows? They could be of some use.
Alright, let's see what Rakarth is. He is a thief. Or rogue. We'll take a look at his class later on. How's the precise shot? Does he not have a... Alright, seems like he's supposed to be a ranged character. We'll give him a crossbow for now. Keep him out of melee. Orsips Calistria. Urban Hunter. Okay. We'll take a look at that later. Let's go ahead and speak to some people. Langrat mentioned talking to him again. There's some loot here. Staunton Vane, Hero of Mendev, a comic farce in 3 acts. Scene 1. A brothel. Staunton yawning. His morning. What a sweet dream I've had. Night watch is far more bearable a task when one performs it here, in a bed of warmth, not outside in rain and hail and cold. Mistress. Oh, Staunton dearest, you're awake already. Don't say you're leaving me again. Please stay. I wish for you to spend just 1 more hour here, or maybe a whole day. You may be short of stature, my sweet hero, but 'tis the size of your valor that that's beguiled me. Staunton, alas, my love, I heed the trumpet's call. Such is a soldier's lot, one cannot stay in bed. Nay, one has to go on duty on occasion. It saddens me to leave you now my doublet, but that's a sacrifice I make in nation's name. Scene 2. An army warehouse. Staunton. Oh, woe is me. Why all of this misfortune? While I was boldly watchfully asleep, nestled in the bosom of my companion in arms, for every snore a ward against ne'er-do-wells, knivingly they struck me in the back. They broke into the warehouse proper, and took it all, and left no scrap behind. What do? This plight is bound to earn me a conviction, and a prison cell, and lashes. Wait, could it be? Idea. I'll go to crusade post-haste. Hear that lots of folks like me, as fearless and as pure of heart, fight demons there and shed their blood aplenty, all for their homeland's hopes of peace. Mayhaps then, none will wonder where I served and what great feats I committed, on my noble path. So be it, Mendev, be your new crusader hero. Oh, I got 50 experience for that.
It's done.
For the Worldwound, there was no theater in Kenabres. It was built during the First Crusade to raise the spirits of fighters going off to fight the demons. Let's check in with Langrat Messini again. Well, can we make a run for it yet? Remind me, who are you? And I think it was only recently that people recognized me on the street. Truly, earthly fame is fleeting. I'm Langrat Messini, formerly first violin of this theater, and presently its wretched prisoner, much like you. What can you tell me about this theater? Oh, so many things. It's hard to know where to begin. I've already told you about the crack in the floor, so maybe... Just what are you interested in? Are there any weapons around here? No, of course not. We're no warriors here. We're actors, musicians. The best you can hope for is props. But that's the thing about props. You're not supposed to be able to hurt anyone with them. He gives Rakarth a wary sidelong glance. Although, if you're good at that sort of thing, really put your mind to it, I guess you could use them too. Langrat swallows nervously and changes the subject. As for the belongings that those scoundrels took from the prisoners, they're all stored in the chest in the auditorium. But don't even think about going there. Didn't you see how many of them there are? Is there anything useful I can find backstage? The cultists have already taken everything they could see. but there are things they don't know about. He leans closer to you in a conspiratorial manner. There's a secret door in the prima donna's dressing room. Nobody knows what she hid in there, but I bet it's something good. Knock on the walls in there, have a good look around, and you're sure to find it. Oh, and another thing. They started renovating one of the rooms, but then they just abandoned the whole thing. Typical. It's real rickety in there. One of the cultists went in, fell, and broke his leg, and they haven't been in there since. But maybe the builders left something behind, like a saw or a hammer. Every little bit helps. Or maybe an axe. You mentioned the theater being in a sorry state. The place is literally falling apart. Be careful backstage. A bee might fall on you or the floor might suddenly give way. Just watch your heads. What else should I look for in the backstage area? The dogs. They've gone feral with hunger. And the rats. I'm terrified of them, you know? I hope no new monsters have made their home in there. Oh gods, please no. Well, thank you for your answers. Glad to be of help. I must go. Just don't leave me here. You promised. I did promise. Gods. Please God save us. Please. There's Bamir. We'll speak to him in just a moment.
I managed.
Baphomet's unholy sigil has been crudely drawn on the wall in blood, upside down. It seems these cultists aren't very proficient in demonology. I knew a wizard once that agreed. She came to the same conclusion. They'll let us go. This is some kind of misunderstanding. I'm sure they'll let us go soon. Water. The queen is already on her way here. She'll make them pay. Alright, same stuff the other guy said. Let's go speak to Bamir. A burly ginger-haired fellow is cradling his hand. Is wrapped in a rag that has turned dark from all the dried blood. He raises his eyes to you. His gaze is haunted and seems at odds with his imposing physique. Who are you? What do you want? Who are you? Bamir is my name. I'm a miller around these parts. I brought me flour to the city, and then... He sniffles. I got caught up in this like a mouse between two millstones. What happened to your hand? They bit it off, the brutes. He sobs. Half the palm. Gone. Just like that. How am I supposed to work now? How am I going to feed me family? Can you fight? No. No, I'm not one to pick a fight anyway. Now that I've got fingers missing. What am I going to do to those dirtbags? Fight them? He sighs. If you need to move something heavy, or bend something, or break down some door or other, that I can do. Nothing to it. We're escaping. Are you with us? Escaping? There's a thought. You got a plan. I can't see I see a way out of this place. If you find something, I'm going with you. Alright, we're taking you with us. Glory be. So how do we pull it off? I must go. You do that. Search the place through and through. Has to be some kind of a way out. So I wonder if there's repercussions for taking people with us. Because we have an option to turn them down. Because we could have threatened him instead of promising to take him with us. And we can still go back to this guy and tell him that we're not taking him. It seems like there might also be benefit to taking them with us. So he told us about a secret in the prima donna's room. And he says he can move heavy objects, bend things, and break down doors. Which might be something we can use him for later. Speaking of, there was rubble back here blocking the door. The basement. I'm wondering now that we've agreed to rescue him, if we'll have an option to have him clear out the rubble for us.
Tread lightly.
Alright, does that seem to be the case? Just trying to be thorough, making sure I explore all of my options.
I'm gone.
Alright, to backstage. Lighting. As your character hides from the superior enemy forces, they will on numerous occasions find themselves in dark or dimly lit places. To illuminate an area, you can use a torch or cast a light spell. Do I want to, or do I just want to keep it dark?
The road awaits. Let us bide our time.
Like, will the light reveal anything on walls or loot or anything?
Follow my steps.
Using clever tactics now?
Aim carefully.
They think us easy prey. You're going down!
Our duty calls.
Alright, just to be thorough. It's weird they mentioned lighting like this. I feel like it might be a enhanced mechanic for the DLC.
Let's head out.
Alright. Does not seem to be the case so far. Interacting with your environment. While playing the Through the Ashes DLC, you might want to pay extra attention to the interactive objects and environment elements that your character encounters. Interacting with them might improve your chances in a fight, and help you entirely avoid combat with particularly dangerous enemies. Then hold tab to highlight it. Read that part.
Enemy near.
We're not cut out for this.
I feel faint.
Okay, whew, I was terrified. Swarms are scary. They don't seem that tough here.
Everyone counts on me.
Actually, we have a dagger I can equip. Get rid of that -2. It's the same damage as a sword, but it doesn't have that same -2 penalty to attack rolls.
Using clever tactics now.
Another rat swarm.
Something's wrong.
So here's the floor crack. The theater is long overdue for some maintenance. The floor is sagging and cracks have formed between the stone slabs. Someone did a sloppy job of patching up a particularly large hole with uneven boards. Examine the boards. The uneven boards are haphazardly fastened together with rusted nails, but they're still holding tight. You can't rip them off with your bare hands. We can't open up this hole without some tools. We better have a good look around. There's gotta be one lousy crowbar somewhere in this theater, right? McCarth knocks on the planks. Yep, this isn't looking good. We have to work quickly, or else they'll hear the creaking at the other end of the city. Maybe one of the no-hopers on stage can help us out. I could really use an extra pair of hands here. So Bamir can probably help with that. Or we can find the tools in the renovated room. Try to figure out where the hole leads. You can see stone walls through the cracks. The air coming from under the floor is damp. It's hard to say for sure what awaits you down there, but it doesn't seem like a dead end. Try to rip the boards off. The boards don't budge, but they do creak like crazy. Hey, cut it out. We're going to clear this hole. Someone will have to distract the cultists, or they'll be on us before you know it.
Let us be careful.
Using clever tactics now?
The quest does say we need to find tools, but Bamir said he was really strong, so I think we can use him. We'll check that in the next episode. I think real quick, we'll see about taking out this rat swarm and gathering this chest.
Be careful, everyone.
I have the wrong thing equipped.
It's you or me!
This does present a problem. Now you can equip this in combat. Oh, we can.
You're going down! My mission has ended in failure.
Alright, so I didn't have to make it a point for my main character to be seen first.
Observe the others. Learn from their
That was on me.
mistakes before they learn from yours.
Alright, put him up a little bit.
Tread lightly.
Yeah, this feels a lot more tense than the early parts of the base campaign. I mean, early low-level parts of a game are always a little bit more tense because you're struggling to survive. You don't have the resources yet. This feels even more intense than that, which I really like. I'm appreciating that. I would disarm this
No
trap real
time for
quick.
standing around. I managed.
I'm gone.
I think what we'll do at the beginning of the next episode is go over Rikarth's
We must
class,
act.
and then we'll see through the DLC. And speak to Freda Linsdaden. I don't think we should be able to see yet. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.